What's happening, fishing friends? The Bass Pro spring sale has passed, but I got a little box of goodies, so time for another episode of What's in the Box? Bass Pro Edition. This box was kind of a mix. I stocked up on some topwater lures that I wanted to fish more this year and some other tackle that I needed. Picked up some lures that I'd never even seen before, and I picked up one large ticket item. By large ticket, I mean $49.99, which was a steal. The item that I had a whole bunch of people message me about saying, Debo, can you pick one up? Do a review, do this, that. People want to see it, so I picked one up. But enough of the jibba jabba. Let's get this thing open and look at some baits. First up, what do we have in the box? Well, if I remember correctly, yes. Some topwater poppers. Got away from throwing these the last couple years, but this year I want to make more of a point throwing these. Back in the day, the old Pop-R from Rebel was absolutely hands down my favorite topwater popper. Caught so many fish on these things, had to be this bass pattern, that was my favorite. I picked these up, these were only like a couple bucks, so I got 3 of them. Got these 2 colors, I got a white to imitate shad, then I thought this was supposed to be like a sexy shad with chartreuse on top. They even call it Bone XXX shad. I don't know, that doesn't look that sexy to me, but I'm still gonna throw it. And then this white I thought would mimic, shad or crappie. And this one was called Phantom. Phantom, it looked like it was translucent on there. It is definitely not translucent. It's just white with some gray stuff on it. So I'll see, have to see. I think I can still make do with these, but I wanted one more, kind of clear translucent for clear water. The popper is such a nice, subtle, slick, calm topwater bait. You can really use these to test and see if a topwater bite's going on. Nice finesse almost style of topwater fishing. Very versatile, so I want to throw those more. Guess you could say the poppers are great to test the waters with. Get it? Pun fully intended. Next up are some other topwaters. I got a couple other topwater walking baits. This is the Berkley Jaywalker 100. I know Berkley released a number of different topwater baits last year. I got the Choppo. Saw these on sale. I didn't pick it up then, but I thought I had to get one this time they were on sale. Let's pop it open. Looks like this thing should walk pretty well. I'm excited to throw it because this was more of that translucent color I was telling you all about that I thought I was getting on the popper. You can see there, you can see through that. It's got like a blue kind of iridescence to it when you move it in the light. White and kind of that blue. Definitely like the color. From the bottom, as you can see, when it's popping back and forth, it's got a little flash down there, some sparkle, pretty see-through, transparent, so should be a good clear water topwater bait. I noticed the top kind of comes to a point, so when you look at this head on, it's not completely round. Those sides are angled, so I'm interested to see how that does, in the water, if that gives off more of a flash, as it's walking back and forth and you're walking the dog, or hook myself. It's got some good sharp hooks with it. As you can see, it does come with the Berkley Fusion hooks on there, 4 inches, ½ ounce with rattles. I know that was kind of some criticism that people gave me when I was talking about the Choppo. I wasn't really trying to talk this bait down. I was just trying to, talk about the things that I noticed with it. But people said that it does come with those stock Fusion hooks, as you can see there. And I thought they were, kind of light wire, but when I compared them to some of my other baits, they seem pretty normal. So I'm really actually excited to throw both of these. Both the baits look pretty good. Excited to test the durability and such. So we'll see. Need some good weather. I also picked up another topwater lure. This kind of has the iridescence to it. So, on those days when I've got a little bit of sunlight poking through and I don't really know what to throw, I want to, get more of that flash going off it. Pick this up. It reminded me of a, Lucky Craft Sammy. So we'll see how this baby does. Definitely going to have to change out the hooks on that though. And the last topwater walking style bait was an old super spook. This guy I got specifically for the toothy fish that I like to fish for on topwater. The pike, of course. This baby should do pretty good. It's kind of that silver with, black up top, kind of that gunmetal. Nice looking color, especially, when there's a little bit of sunlight coming through. That flash should really attract the pike. This is the larger version, I think 5 inches. You can see there it does have the 3 hooks, 1, 2, 3. I noticed it said these are saltwater hooks. So I don't know, I guess they'll maybe resist corroding. I'll still probably change those hooks out. No, I will definitely change those hooks out. It's interesting. I know a lot of bass guys hate catching pike because they're slimy and stinky. I stink like pike now. They are slimy and stinky, but I love it. Topwater pike explosions are so much fun. If you like fishing topwater, and you don't like fishing topwater pike, you might not have a pulse. Next up, Bass Pro had their jerkbaits on sale. Now, I've never tried their jerkbaits, but these were only a couple bucks, so I figured, you know what? I'll get one, try it. This is a little bit larger size, 4.5 inch, ½ ounce. Goes down to about 8 feet, so that's pretty normal. And remember, you can always adjust how deep these dive. The lighter fluorocarbon you use, it's going to allow that jerkbait to get down deeper. I honestly haven't experimented with a whole bunch of different jerkbaits. Honestly, the 2 that I throw most are the Lucky Craft, the different type of pointers that they have, and the old school Rapalas. I've got a bunch of these. So really, those are the only 2 that I have thrown, especially this one for the clear water around here has been absolutely killer. So interested to see how this does. For a couple bucks, I figure I'll try it. Next up, how about these crazy looking things? These are the Terminator Shudder baits. I got a couple 3/8 ounce of these. Look, it says custom swimming lip amplifies everything. The other one I took out of the package to look at, and that's the lip that you're looking at. It's cupped, so it's not flat. So I don't know if this is going to give it more of an erratic, kind of side to side instead of just a vibrating, like a vibrating, chatterbait, a vibrating jig. Interested to see how this is going to do. Overall, I'm actually really happy with it. I checked the hooks on them, and as you can see, I usually always do the thumbnail test, and these hooks are super, super sharp. It bites right in. It's got the little wire bait keeper there to help keep your trailer down on it. I got this color. I thought it would mimic a bluegill pretty well, so it's kind of got the iridescent green and black up top with a little chartreuse on bottom. Should be a good bluegill imitation of this lip. It's interesting, this lip is made of like a graphite plastic, so it's not the metal, normal that you're used to on the, why can I not think what they are? Chatterbaits. Now that baby's definitely going to have to get changed out. That's a pretty white light wire clip on there, so I don't want to hook a nice huge fish on this. It's got a good stout hook and back, but that's kind of sketch. Have to change that out. But pretty interested to see how this does. Cool looking little bait. Ooh, you know what'd be cool? Maybe I could do this versus a chatterbait. See which does better. That might be a good video. Next, I stocked up on some more weighted wacky hooks. These are nothing special or crazy, but people always ask me what size I normally start with. 1/16, as you can see there. That's what I got in both of these. Killer little finesse presentation. I've done videos on these in the past. I like to use like a trick worm or one of those ring type baits. The grande bass rattlesnake, Lake Fork makes the ring fry, but awesome little way to be finessey in the summer, yet still cover water. A lot of guys with a drop shot or shaky head, they don't like to fish extremely slow and, just let it sit there. A weighted wacky rig is nice because you can still cover water with it. It's not like just a regular stick bait. You throw it out and it's just very, very, very slow. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes that's the exact reason why these are getting bit. They're falling slow. It's real harmless. Fish just maul these things. But fishing those can be slow. So I found going to a weighted wacky type rig lets you cover water a little faster. You can kind of fish different areas a little quicker. So just stocked up, grabbed a couple pack of those. Next up, I think I have some soft plastics in here. Oh yeah, I do. How about these big dogs? Debo, what in the world are these? Well, these are sticko worms, but these are 7 1/8 inch. Now, I was honestly going to try to do the challenge this year of not throwing any stick baits at all, and that still might take place, but these babies I got for a very specific reason. Now, I've told you all that I really want to work on my swim bait game, and in doing so, I've got a few of these. These are the River to Sea S-Wavers. Only tossed them a couple times this year, but these are 6-something inches long. And I figured, you know what? If I'm getting the bigger bass to come out and even follow this, maybe they don't actually hit on the S-Waver, but if they show themselves and come out and follow it, I wanted something to follow up with, and I thought these would be a great way to do that. A good big meal hopefully will entice those bass to bite. You compare that. This is a little 5-inch stick bait. Compare the two there. Holy smokes, that's a night and day difference. Look at those babies. And for you beginners out there, if you're wondering what I mean by follow-up, well, if you've ever been frog fishing or topwater fishing, you're bringing a bait by, the fish blows up on it and completely misses it. Well, one thing I like to do is grab a stick bait, throw that stick bait in the hole that the bass made, or right next to the tree that bass blew up on, and oftentimes you can get that fish to hit this. It's a real subtle, easy, soft plastic coming in there, falling real slow, and you can trigger that bite. So that's what I'm hoping to do with these. If they come after this big swim bait, deal that are supposed to catch big fish, hopefully throwing one of these big dogs in will entice them to bite. I got two colors. I got the bait fish for a little bit clearer water. You can see there it's got kind of the sparkle in it, hopefully to imitate shad. And when I'm fishing the ponds and places where it's a little bit dingier water, I got the double trouble. So it's watermelon red flake on top, green pumpkin with black flake on the bottom. Pretty excited to toss these things, man. They're big old meal. Hopefully they catch big fish. Next on the list is another soft plastic, something that you've probably never ever seen me throw on my channel, something I used to throw a ton when I was younger, lizards. I haven't thrown these in forever. I used to throw them all the time when I was younger, and I actually got them to throw on beds. I've heard people have a ton of success fishing lizards, specifically on beds. I wanted to get some bigger ones. All they had were the 6-inch, but they were only a couple bucks, so I grabbed a pack of them. But as you can see there, they have a cool action to them. The 4 little legs that work, and then the tail and back that's just like a ribbon tail worm. So a lot of good action to it. Whatever it is, if the bass think this is something that's trying to eat their little babies in there, got to defend them. Of course, back in the day, my old man would only let me throw Tequila Sunrise because that was the best fish catching color ever. So I got the closest I could find. They had a Tequila Sunrise, but it was like a reddish. I didn't like it. This is a black light, so it's a black. When you hold it up to the light, it's kind of a translucent purple. There's some purplish blue flakes in there, so pretty cool color there. You can see them shining and going after it. I figured this black color would mimic a lot of the salamanders and stuff that we have around here, so Hopefully this will catch some fish. I don't know. Otherwise, it'll just be fun. Heck, you know what maybe I should do is a tackle box tour with one of my old tackle boxes. I've still got a couple laying around. I guarantee it's still got some lizards in it. But let me know. Comment below and let me know if you would like to see a video of one of my old tackle boxes. I'll walk through some of that stuff. Let me know. Now, the final lure, actually rig in the box, is this bad boy. Oh yeah, I got my first ever umbrella rig. This happens to be a Yumbrella rig. Specifically, it is the Flash Mob Junior. So they had these on sale. I couldn't pass it up. I have honestly never tossed an umbrella rig, or an A-rig as people call them. I've never thrown one. I hear all kinds of fun stuff about them. We've got some lakes around here with Whopper in them that I'm sure will go crazy over these. But, you know, bass guys throwing them when the bass are schooling. We have a few different lakes around here that I have been around with some crazy bass schooling activity. So I'm hoping this will do some work this year. Now, always remember when you pick these up, and if you're going to fish one, check your state regulations. I think there may still be some states that don't allow it. I don't know for sure, but some states don't have regulations on them. But like here in Iowa, we have a 2-hook regulation. So you can see here, I think this one has 5 different clips there that you can put baits on. But they'll only allow 2 of those here in Iowa to have hooks. The other 3 have to be dummies. So I'm just going to take a screw lock keeper, clip that on there, and screw the swim bait on it. So my top 3 will have just, you know, those dummy swim baits. My bottom 2 hanging down, because you always want to fish this above the fish. The 2 on bottom are going to have the hooks. So hopefully those are the 2 that the fish go for. Now, speaking of the screw lock keepers, I'm going to have to pick up some of those. I don't think I have any big enough for these. I also might want to pick up some extra clips. I don't know how well those are going to do, the snaps on there. I just don't want to risk catching a big old fish and having one of these snaps pull out and straighten out. I'm always very wary of those. I've had bad luck in the past. So definitely going to have to put in a tackle warehouse order, get some snaps, some screw lock keepers, and maybe some other stuff. Let me know. Comment below and let me know if there are some specific lures or gear, anything you'd like to see. Might throw that in my recent order. Now, finally, I had a ton of people message me about this. This they had for a very good sale at Bass Pro Shops. I had people asking me to pick it up, to do a review on it. And if you're new to my channel, I've been doing kind of this $100 reel series where I'm testing out a bunch of, you know, the $100 reels. You know, you've seen the SLX, the Fuego, the old loose speed spool that's still in pieces. I've been trying to find time to get this baby all put back together and done, but that's a long video. I want to make sure it's done right, but you'll see that one. And this is normally a $100 reel, $99 reel. They had this baby 50% off. It was only $49.99. I couldn't pass it up. So you can see here that's a little bit different than the old Pro Qualifiers, and I think this is the Pro Qualifier 2. I don't know if they have another Pro Qualifier 2 out there in the normal silver and kind of gold colors. That's what the old ones looked like. I used one of those. I never actually owned one, but I used it, and you know, a lot of people say they're extremely solid reels, so I've had a bunch of people asking, hey, will you pick up a Bass Pro reel? And I thought, oh, I don't know, you know, I have to spend $100 on it, but for 50 bucks, couldn't pass this baby up. Now, I could do a specific video on this. I kind of do a run through of it, you know, going over all the features and just kind of a first impressions, what I think of it. But honestly, for my reviews, I like to be able to get these out, test them out on the water, you know, test the castability and all that before I really give a full word on a reel. Some of the stuff you can kind of tell, you know, when you pick it up and feel it and test it, but to really test the true ability of the reel, you got to get it out and fish it. So comment below and let me know if you've ever used any of the Bass Pro Qualifiers. Let me know what you think of them. I really want to do a review on this, but like I said, I want to get it out on the water and test it first. So, you know, if you want to see a first impressions, you want me to go over the whole reel, take it apart, whatever, I could do that. Or I could do the review. Comment below and let me know which you would rather see and if you've ever used one of these. I'm interested to hear what people think. That's all I have for today. So all of this in the box, pretty good little order I put in. I'm excited to go out and fish all this stuff. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if it's the reel, some of the lures, what you want to see most, and what you want to see more of on my channel. Do you like the reel reviews? Do you like the unboxings, the how-tos? I appreciate all the input that I get from every single one of you, because if it wasn't for you all, my channel will be pointless. So it's late. I got to get going to bed. Of course, till next time.